Our physical bodies dictate where we can go and what we can do. The vast majority of people lack the time, the athletic training, or the financial resources required to survive in Earth's most extreme environments. For decades, film and early video games offered a window into these worlds, but the viewer remained a passive observer, separated from the action by a flat screen. Modern virtual reality technology removes that separation. It has evolved beyond simple gaming into a medium capable of manufacturing genuine, visceral presence. This shift relies on volumetric capture. Instead of recording a flat image, this technology maps the precise volume of a space. When the system understands actual mass, it provides the spatial data to trick our natural depth perception. You stop watching and begin inhabiting. This poses a unique psychological question. If the brain registers these artificial spaces as physical locations, what happens to human experience when our memories are no longer bound by our physical surroundings? Virtual reality bypasses the traditional requirements of geography and physical endurance. The Everest VR project allows anyone to scale the deadliest peaks of the Himalayas, replacing years of rigorous high-altitude training with a session in their living room. Creating this environment required stitching together over 300,000 high-resolution images to accurately map every snow-covered crevice and peak of the mountain. This precision applies to visceral serenity as effectively as it does to extreme danger. In the Grand Canyon VR experience, users navigate tiered red rock formations and waterfalls using a motorized kayak, bypassing the logistical costs and travel time of a physical expedition. The technology even replicates everyday relaxation. Titles like VR fishing provide the quiet focus of a morning at the pond, allowing you to skip the early alarms and the threat of bad weather. Physical location and athletic capability no longer act as gatekeepers to Earth's most exclusive environments. Virtual reality hardware functions as a time machine, allowing us to step directly into the past. We can now enter historically restricted spaces, such as Nefertari's tomb, a sacred ancient site that is otherwise closed to the general public. The preservation inside the crypt allows players to physically explore the colorful artistry and hieroglyphics surrounding the Queen's final resting place. From ancient Egypt, the technology can transport a user to 17th century Europe through the Meeting Rembrandt experience. Users roam the rooms of the famous painter's house, observing the realistic detail of the master perfecting his skills in his studio. The psychological impact intensifies when the historical figure looks up and responds directly to your physical presence in the room. History ceases to be a subject read in a textbook and becomes a physical space you can inhabit. The final boundaries are gravity and the vacuum of space. The BBC Home Spacewalk simulation places users in orbit, using data derived from real-life NASA training programs to replicate the environment. It provides the sensation of troubleshooting equipment as an astronaut 250 miles above the Earth. Projects like Lone Echo extend these geographic limits further, transporting players to a lifelike mining facility situated on the rings of Saturn. VR grants ordinary people visceral access to a cosmic scale previously reserved for a handful of astronauts. In a single afternoon, a user can navigate deep canyons, the rings of Saturn, and ancient tombs. Interactive titles like The Gallery or VR Funhouse pair these environments with physical puzzles and carnival games, evoking genuine physical reactions. Projects like Google's Welcome to Light Fields demonstrate that when digital captures are rendered with enough accuracy, the brain stores them as lived memories. These complex digital light particles can dynamically converge and solidify into a room that feels completely and physically present. While the body remains stationary in a living room, the mind registers that it has genuinely experienced the journey. By bridging the gap between digital data and human memory, virtual reality makes the world's most inaccessible environments available to everyone.